and a civil servant. I just wanted to ask the panellists what economic and social system they would like Britain to be more like, and why.
Sweden versus. Sorry, I can't remember.
Yeah, John Saunders, Centre for Journalism at the University of Kent. I just want to basically ask, we're talking about the specific national problem that we're facing, but I think probably all agree that this is a consequence of a global financial crisis. And I want to ask, does the banking system remain open to such a crisis in the future? Are we in danger of our kids facing exactly the same crisis in a generation, 20 years' time?
I was on the way here, I was listening to the news on the radio in the car, and it struck me that while a lot of people here are quite angry about what's happening, the people who were interviewed, i.e. to accept totally the idea that we're in this terrible financial crisis and we all have to chip in, as Senator said. I was astonished that each one of the 5 people interviewed agreed, oh well, that's it, this is what we've got to do.
Because they've read too many papers.
Well, and exactly, where have they got that attitude from? Because I'm furious. My daughter was at Oxford with George but and I think if I was one of those ordinary working people, I would not accept what George Osborne was telling me. So why is it that they do?
Yes.
Rob Kenyon, photographer and blogger. Just a question for Lisa and one for Chris. Lisa, you said that there's too much economics. I think Orwell would have said it's just the wrong sort of economics. We've tied ourselves to American competitive consumerism now for a long time, and at the same time, because we've all read 1984, we know that means tying ourselves to the wars that go with them, because you can't have the consumerism without the wars. And if you want an answer for why there isn't enough money, part of it is to do with the stupid wars that we've got in. And at the same time, the consumerism, when it comes to Orwell's why people spend the money the way they do, I mean, in the Road to Vegan, he's quite clear about things like junk food. Food is comfort, because people feel worthless, and that's basically the only thing that they've got to maintain their sense of identity, is what they consume. And they don't want to eat raw carrots and stuff. They don't want to eat food that's cheaper and healthier. They want something that makes them feel good. So the whole cycle comes round, and it's all in Orwell. As for what he would do now, I think the essay you've got to read isn't that tiny little thing, books and cigarettes. It's why socialists don't believe in fun. Where he sets out quite clearly that it's not about having a good time, that a future ideal society doesn't exist, that it isn't about being happy, it's about fellowship. It's about being able to work with people without wanting to kill them or trample over their bones to get your share. It's about being a socialist. It's about loving each other, is what he says. It's basically his version of all he needs is love. And one for Chris is George Osborne still using the words structural deficit when he means real deficit?